Cronus overthrew his father, castrated him with a sickle, and took the throne of the universe. Excellent start to a career. Then he got a prophecy saying one of his own children would overthrow him too. So, naturally, Cronus decided to eat every single one of them. Not metaphorically, literally. His entire parenting strategy was basically, if I can't have an heir, neither can fate. Let's set the scene, because the scene is already unhinged. Cronus marries his sister, Rhea, which was standard practice for early gods, the same way inbreeding is standard practice for royal families who haven't yet discovered the concept of neighbors. She gets pregnant. He gets nervous, not new parent nervous. There is a prophecy with my name in the losing column, nervous. The prophecy said one of his children would overthrow him, the same way he overthrew his own father, which, if you think about it for even 1 second, means Cronus had all the information required to see this coming and chose to interpret it as a staffing problem rather than a warning about his own behavior. So the first baby arrives. Cronus does not send a card. He does not install a crib. He walks over, picks up his newborn daughter, and swallows her whole. Not symbolically, whole, like a snake that skips several appointments with a nutritionist. Rhea, understandably, is upset about this. Cronus's response is essentially, one down, several to go, and he waits for the next one. This becomes a pattern, and the pattern gets worse every single time. Hestia is born first. Cronus doesn't wait for a name, doesn't wait for Rhea to catch her breath. He's there before the midwife has finished washing her hands, and Hestia is gone. Rhea barely has time to process what just happened before she's pregnant again. Demeter is born. Same routine, except this time Cronus doesn't even bother making it look like a decision. He just reaches over mid-conversation, almost absent-mindedly. Rhea starts screaming. Cronus starts chewing. These two things happen at the same time now. That's the marriage. Hera is born. By this point, the palace staff have stopped bringing baby clothes. Nobody's buying a crib anymore. Somebody somewhere has quietly started a betting pool on whether this one makes it to lunchtime. Poseidon is born, and this is the one that should really concern you, because Poseidon is not a small child. Poseidon is going to grow up to be one of the most powerful beings in existence, capable of drowning entire coastlines out of spite. And Cronus looks at this infant, the future lord of every ocean on earth, and swallows him like a grape. 4 children, 4 times the exact same move. No hesitation, no growth, no moment where Cronus stops and thinks, maybe I should check what I'm doing here. He has now eaten enough of his own bloodline to staff a small pantheon, and his takeaway isn't horror, it's confidence. As far as Cronus is concerned, the system works. 4 for 4. Perfect record. He's not a father anymore. He's a man with a strategy, and the strategy is going great, right up until the exact moment it stops. Because Rhea is done. She has now watched 4 of her children disappear into her husband's mouth before they could open their eyes. And when she gets pregnant a 5th time, she is not calling the midwife. She's calling in a plan. Here's the plan. Rhea does not hand Cronus a 5th child. She hands him a rock, a regular stone wrapped in baby blankets, swaddled like a newborn, and passed directly into her husband's hands. The actual baby, the real 5th child, is nowhere near this room. Cronus takes one look at this bundle, does not check it, does not weigh it, does not so much as glance at whether it's breathing, and swallows it whole, rock and all, fully convinced he has just eaten his 5th child. He has not. He has eaten a rock. The king of the universe, a being who overthrew his own father and sits on the throne of the cosmos, was defeated in advance by a man who skips the fine print. The real baby, the one Cronus thinks is sitting in his stomach next to a decade of siblings, has already been smuggled out of the palace entirely. His name is Zeus, and he is currently on a mountain in Crete, being raised in secret, fed on goat's milk, guarded by armored spirits banging their weapons together specifically to drown out the sound of a crying infant, because apparently that was a real strategy someone committed to. Cronus, meanwhile, is walking around with a rock in his stomach, feeling pretty good about his prophecy avoidance program. This is a god. This is a being with power over the fabric of the universe, and he has been outmaneuvered by a woman with a blanket and a rock she found outside. Years pass. Zeus grows up on that mountain, works out, presumably develops some personal opinions about his father. Eventually, he comes back down, and with the help of a well-timed potion, forces Cronus to throw up everything he swallowed, in reverse order, which means the rock comes up first, followed by Hera, then Poseidon, then Demeter, then Hestia, all fully grown adults, emerging from their father's stomach like a very traumatic clown car. So the prophecy that Cronus spent years trying to prevent by eating his own children came true anyway, delivered by the one child he never actually got to eat, using a strategy his wife assembled out of laundry and a rock. Here's the part worth sitting with. Cronus didn't lose because the prophecy was too powerful to stop. He lost because he tried to out-eat fate instead of examining, even once, whether being the kind of father who eats his children might be part of the problem. He had the information. He had the power. He had, at minimum, 5 separate opportunities to reconsider his approach. Every single time, he chose the same solution. And every single time, it was the wrong one, until the one time it was a rock. Zeus went on to overthrow him completely, take the throne, and become king of the gods. Which means the entire cycle Cronus was so desperate to prevent didn't just happen anyway. It happened because of exactly what he did to prevent it. The prophecy wasn't a trap he walked into. It was a hole he dug himself, one child at a time, convinced that power meant never being surprised, while a rock in a blanket proved otherwise.
If you enjoyed watching me ruin my father's entire career, hit subscribe. Trust me, I've got more family problems.